sir, man. Big boy racing today. 200-mile-an-hour, tough track. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing, boys.
Harvick, the launch off turn 2.
Yeah, the ones I really expected to work together on this initial start was the teammates at Stewart-Haas Racing between Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch, but no deal. Oh, Kurt Busch is high.
Oh, boy.
Up 4.
No grip up there. It's just nothing but track's kind of dirty. No grip whatsoever.
Yeah, no momentum.
It cost him 5 spots. He falls to 6th between turn 3 and the start-finish line.
Mike, that outside is so tempting, but there's just not much grip outside of that black groove that we're looking at.
They drag tires around this track in lanes 2 and 3 for a week or two, trying to get a little more rubber into the racetrack, and it will help today. The bottom groove they did not touch.
Oh, trouble. Turn 4 here, guys.
Alex Bowman comes around.
Paul Menard gets him. And quickly, we are under caution.
About half the field down pit road to avoid that.
I think the 19 car of Suarez got a lot of damage to his car. A couple other cars. You see the 21 with quite a bit of damage. Paul Menard.
And this was what's on the mind of all these competitors out there in these early laps. It's a pretty cold day to start the race, low air pressures. You see Alex Bowman clipped the apron just a little bit. Maybe the air off the 6 car loosened him up also. Around he came, and Austin Dillon, unfortunately, nowhere to go. Or Paul Menard.
Or the 19 of Suarez, and too bad for those guys, because 3 laps in the race and you're in trouble.
Check up, check up, check up, check up. Go high, go high, go high. Stay down. You got one coming.
That was Paul Menard. Let's
guys, smashed in right rear.
let's ride with Austin Dillon.
Pretty good job here by Dillon, Mike. He doesn't panic.
Outside on
He sees what he's faced with. He made a little contact, but light.
I got shoved into him. I got nose damage.
Austin Dillon, talk about nose damage. You see a lot of rear end damage to Paul Menard.
Yeah, and that's a critical area for aerodynamics, is that rear quarter panel. I don't know, the front damage to the 3 car, they might be able to get away with that.
I think he's okay. I know, Jeff, he didn't make a lot of hard contact. I think he just kind of touched.
Oh, no, there's a shame. Daniel Suarez carrying the signatures and names of all of those kids from that hospital.
Yep. Children's Miracle Hospital. That was a big deal for them. Chip Booth.
Under caution in Texas.
And when Truex pitted on lap 40, all they did was make an air pressure adjustment as well as put 4 fresh tires on. But he's saying this run he took off a little bit loose, and it's just stayed edgy this whole run. He was better to start the race.
And that, man, I tell you, there's nothing worse than to be able to run at 200 miles an hour around this racetrack. Little treacherous getting into 1, almost wide open through 3 and 4, and your car's not quite like you'd like for it to be.
Well, and this is, I think, what a lot of us anticipated this race was going to be like. Conditions are going to be a lot different, especially as rubber gets laid down into this racetrack, as 40 or 37 cars are running around this track right around the bottom. It's going to change the balance and the grip level of those race cars. I think they're going to be chasing this condition all day long.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is when we're green like this, the track has heat in it. These cars, the headers, the tailpipe, everything, the tires, they put heat in the track, which is nice.
Kurt Busch has fallen to 4th. Joey Logano, you see there, 5th. But
that's 78 of Mark Truex Jr. in the wall.
Front straightaway, and that will bring the caution at lap 81.
Heavy hit.
Oh, boy. Looks like a right front.
Definitely looks like a right front tire.
That car is killed.
Oh, it's dead.
Good to see Mark Truex Jr. put the window net down. I know that.
It knocks the air right out of you.
One of the hardest hits I ever took was here at Texas.
Like getting hit in the stomach with a baseball bat.
This is coming off of turn 4. Oh, that, yeah, right at the exit of turn 4. It looks very similar to what we saw with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. practice, but wouldn't you say, DW, that's a right front tire?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they definitely cut a tire down and headed straight to the fence. He was wide open when that thing let go.
That will break a string of 10 straight top fives on mile-and-a-half tracks for Martin Truex.
I don't care how fit you are, how tough you are, that hurts.
Yeah, let's talk about Jimmy Johnson, this 48 team, and his crew chief, Chad Knaus. Chad, in the 1990s, he actually was a fabricator and a tire changer on Jeff Gordon's number 24 car. He left Hendrick Motorsports, and in 2000 with Ray Evernham's team, he was crew chief for Casey Atwood for 2 races. He returned to Hendrick Motorsports in 2002, became crew chief for a brand new team in the 48 car. With Jimmy Johnson, they won 3 races in his rookie season, and that's Duracell Driving Trust.
Boy, this is exactly how this race ended the last time we were in Texas for the 42 of Kyle Larson in the wall.
Larry, are we in that 40-lap window there where we've seen some tire failures?
Well, I told our producer, Barry Landis, we probably were within about 5 to 6 laps of everyone splitting this down the middle. The difference in the first run of the race and this run, the first run was with scuffed tires from qualifying. All of these runs are brand new sticker tires they're putting on there for every stop.
Larson was 4th when this happened.
Mike, I think that's a pretty hard lick too. You see Kyle, he's kind of get his composure there, leaning up against the car.
Yeah, and he rubbed his left elbow. That elbow sometimes can get the side of, even though it's a carbon fiber, I believe he runs a carbon seat, can really, when that car hits with that impact, get your elbow, not to mention your ribs.
Tough break for Kyle Larson.
That is, oh my gosh, it just takes your breath right out of you.
And you can see the cords and the tread just come apart, and that's what goes up through the hood. Bam. Wow, look at the angle.
Kyle, talk to us, bud. Yeah, that was lovely. All right, jump forward. Just take your time here. Take your time. What a hit that was.
You know what? Yeah, look at that right.
Well,
you see the hood start to flap. That's usually the tire coming to pieces.
That's violent.
I think it almost, I don't know if it did knock a hole in that wall. That thing hit violently.
Jamie.
Well, Vince earlier mentioned the issue with the 18 right front. There was like a blister on the outside. Well, the 42 had the exact same issue. 3 cars in the garage saw that after practice yesterday. Chad Johnston, Kyle's crew chief, told me he actually cut the tire to see what it was, and he said it really wasn't a blister. He wasn't sure, but he did tell me he really wasn't concerned about right front tires today. So we're going to hear from him shortly.
No, and this is the same right side tire we've run previously here at Texas. The left side rubber and composition and construction is new.
I just don't know if anybody was prepared to run as hard as we're running today. I mean, they are hammering these cars.
Green flag. And Jones arcs it in there with the lead. Here comes Chase Elliott.
Oh, Kyle Busch is loose.
No. Kyle Busch was sideways.
You know, he cut his teammate a little bit of a break, checked up early getting into turn 1 and allow Eric Jones to the bottom. But then you saw Chase Elliott on the outside of the 18 and the 41 right there.
Trouble! One car around and one in the wall.
Hamlin's in
11 and the 10.
and
Hamlin,
48.
Keselowski involved, and Almirola, and Jimmy Johnson. Good grief.
That was crazy. 38's torn up, 10's torn up.
As Hamlin limps his wounded car to pit road, so does Keselowski going by. Now watch the 18 here.
It just looks to me like he just checks up a little bit, let the 20 down, and that gets a 9 to the outside of him. That gets him loose. Right there, he gets loose. Now they're going to take him 3 wide. Stenhouse on the outside, and the 41, 14 go by.
And here comes that accordion effect. There's Almirola.
There, now they're 3 wide. Oh, he checks up a lot. Oh, that gets 11 loose underneath the 10 at Almirola.
Oh boy, the 2 got a ton of damage. So did 48. Wow, the 48 plowed in that inside wall. There's a 6. That took out a bunch of cars, guys. the 11 got a little bit loose, maybe under the 10. Couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting Amarola to check up as much as he did.
I think Amarola knew the 18 was on the outside. He let him just kind of go in there on the outside. I'm not sure if that affected him or not.
Wreckage here. Keep staying slow. Stay slow. Keep coming straight.
Tell you guys, Jimmy Johnson pounded that inside wall.
Keep rolling right down.
But he has put the window net down. That's the signal to the safety crews that he's okay. So it's Denny Hamlin that goes sideways in front of half the field.
This is why it's so important to have a wall that's softer on the inside as well as the outside.
Here's some audio from Kyle Busch and his team.
Okay, well, the 9 is done. Lots of laps left. We're better than all those jokers out front. We'll get it back.
Vince?
Just a little bit snug for William Byron. He said he's been very pleased, particularly as the race has gone on, with the way the car is handled. Overall, said maybe just free it up just a little bit so they'll make an air pressure adjustment on the 24. But this kid continues to impress. Another strong effort from this entire team, led by crew chief Darian Grubb.
I like Darian Grubb. I think he's good.
Caution, 21.
Paul Menard being called for the caution. And Kevin Harvick, who did not pit, will benefit from this one. He is running in second place right now after all the pit stops. How about that?
You just never know.
Remember, Paul Menard had a lot of damage from that crash back at lap 2. They worked and worked on it. Here's what happened.
Now that's what happens when the tire goes down on the straightaway.
All clear there. All clear to come down.
You got a little more time to soften that hit.
And when you get a cooler than expected day to start with, higher speeds, especially higher corner speeds, sometimes strange things happen.
Well, it's a fast racetrack, and you're almost on the razor's edge at this track. I mean, you see how these cars are glued to the bottom. They get just a foot off that white line, they seem to lose some grip. So anything. Oh, we got
trouble turn 4.
around.
And it's Casey Kane and Trevor Bayne who were racing for the free pass.
I don't believe either one of them hit anything. I don't know if they got damaged from going through the grass, but they didn't hit anything.
And that's that razor's edge I was talking about. Just not a lot of grip when you're side by side.
Well, Larry as much as said we were going to have one more caution.
That's a big break for the 4-car guys. That's what he needed. Now he's got himself in position to get back in this race big time.
I mean, they were battling hard for that free pass spot. They were racing for 14th, and they are still the only 2 cars 1 lap down.
See what happens here. Bayne's right down on the door of the 95.
Yeah, he gets loose pretty early.
Just couldn't hang.
I mean, he did a great job. I think he would have saved it, but then made contact with the 6 car, and that brought both of them around.
Now we'll wait from the ruling from NASCAR, because with those 2 being the only cars on the lead lap, 1 lap down, whether either of them would receive a free pass. Yeah. Usually the car that brings out the caution is not eligible.
Yeah, which one do
you think it ought to be?
I'm not making that call.
You know, guys, normally with this fresh of a surface, no more laps than we've run, I would tend to believe they may stay out. But I think with the issues that we've seen, and that a lot of these drivers, they have anywhere from 10, 12 up to 15 plus laps on their tires, I think they may come. I think pit road's still closed right now, so this give them a little bit of time to think about it.
Now, I would be surprised, wouldn't you, Larry, that if the 4 ends up coming, because I think he's liking this set of tires. He's fast. That's one of the only ways he's going to make up the track position.
I agree.
Yeah, remember on his tires, they were just a little fresher, but they didn't have that additional heat cycle like the other drivers' his tires did.
So the caution flag is charged to the 95 and the 6. There will be no free pass on this caution. But still, how long do you stay out? If you're Stenhouse or Newman or Wallace.
No, I think it's just like what Larry said. You stay out until you have to come in for fuel or hope that the caution comes out.
Yeah, and the 2 cars you got to beat. You're not going to beat them, the 18 and the 4. But look at all the other cars you could finish ahead of.
Big hit by the 31. Ryan Newman blows a right front tire right here on the front straightaway. Big hit.
Wow.
Jamie?
2 seconds, and I'm not kidding, 2 seconds. Ryan Newman had just come on the radio and said, I need 4 tires and I need them now, and he went straight in the wall.
Well, as you said, you run that outright as far as you can, hoping for a caution and hoping it's not you.
Oh, that's the inside of that right front, it looked to me like. And what you feel a chunk of the tire or the cords or something snap. That's why he knew it. He felt some sort of vibration. Something changed instantly in the feel in that steering wheel. Boy, that's a heavy impact.
And Mike, and Jeff, it's funny how it's going, everything's good, it feels fine, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's gone.
Well, it's horrible news for Newman, and it's equally bad news for Stenhouse and Wallace, because this is going to bring them right back to the other cars that will now be on the lead lap. Kyle Busch, Harvick, and McMurray 1 lap down. 200 miles an hour into the wall.
Both those,
Turn one.
even that first hit was hard. That second one was still pretty hard licks.
So the pits will be open for the 4 lead lap cars.